comment. Just Ted DiBiase, to be honest with you, would make the most sense. But we'll have to wait and see. Whoever gets it, is pretty much guaranteed a world title run because they noted it on Raw last night as well. Where they said that everybody that's won the Money in the Bank match has then gone on to win a title. So I mean, it looks like they're going to continue that. So whoever wins it, looks to be in line for a big push. And Ted DiBiase is a very good possibility, man. Good comment.
Okay, I have one more question now.
Sure.
How do you feel about John Cena and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania?
We talked about that earlier. I don't see the point. I to be honest with you, I see Hogan in a much better, it makes more sense to put him in a feud with Jericho right now, as the guy is just killing these legends week after week, so it makes sense to have the biggest legend of them all, Hogan would come in and then they would end it there. I don't see the point in John Cena versus Hulk Hogan. I would say that Cena will be put into a triple threat match over there on SmackDown with Edge and the Big Show, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Callie, what's up, man?
What's happening? Listen, I didn't hear.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, it's all good. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, I didn't hear none of your show. I just got home, so you might have already talked about this. But I forgot my question already. Ain't that a
bitch?
I know. I keep forgetting my question. Well, I had two questions. What is the first? I can ask the second one. Okay, yeah, I remember now. So it's kind of actually always called asking questions about ratings. I was looking at a Raw last night, and it was kind of showing like or some other stuff like Stone Cold, I think, or The Rock, or something. How the old times, how they made it, and I was thinking about how they made it. And Stone Cold said, "I just whipped your ass," when he beat, I think, Jake the Snake Roberts, and The Rock was cracking jokes and la 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 la. What could they do to get like another wrestler out like them two, or to where people want to see rather than Shawn Michaels or Triple H?
They try to do it with John Cena. They try to have Cena act like The Rock. I mean, I see it all the time. Where Cena, like Cena will be next to Todd Grisham in the back. Do you see that, Jose?
He does a little funny faces and stuff like that. But it's amazing because it has to come from the talent. So it's not even so much of WWE producing a talent like The Rock or Stone Cold. It just has to become natural, because if it's not natural, it comes off like you're really trying hard to, imitate those two talents. Mm-hmm. You got to stay away from the attitude guy, like Stone Cold, or the movie guy like The Rock. They need to create more compelling characters that are more appealing to the end user and more believable. So this way it comes off smooth. You're like, oh, yeah, John Cena, yeah, he's smooth because he knows what to say. He knows the face expressions. He knows how to discuss it. And not only that, but more importantly, he knows how to sell the match. The Rock knows how to sell a match.
Yeah,
Stone Cold knows how to sell a match. You get the 2 count, this match is over, and he lifts up his shoulder like almost immediately before he touches the referee touches the mat for 3.
I mean, basically, they call it the it factor in WWE. You just have it. You know what I mean? Whether you're in the ring and a guy that I believe has it, and the only thing that holds him back is his size, and that's a guy like Christian. A guy like Christian who's awesome on the mic, who could go on a mic with no script at all and could cut a promo. Same thing goes for Bubba Ray of Team 3D over in TNA. Guys that can get on the mic and go with it. They can just go and make it work. That comes naturally. That's something that you just can't. You either have it or you don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when originally ECW, rest in peace, Candido, when they were getting paid, I think the last pay-per-view when they were beating everybody up, and Bubba Ray said, he said something to the camera. He said, what you just seen is something, because we are the 8-time, tag team champions of the world, baby. But he kind of, after he did his little whatever, he was beating somebody up and the whole 9.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 more questions now. The Rock, how he's trying to be an actor. I don't think he's an actor at all to me. why if Vince puts you, he knows he has the power to put anybody on, make him a big time star. And the only reason you're doing movies is because of Vince McMahon. So if he calls you and says, "Hey, Rock, why don't you make a appearance at WrestleMania?" should you say yes, sir, and not argue with him? Cause
let me say this: there's a lot of resentment in WWE over that same issue, where it's like this, man. It's like The Rock is a good guy, all right? I mean, he's a great guy in real life, just a real likable guy, really, really likable guy. So no one will really go up to him and say it to his face. But there are people in WWE who feel, hey, wait a second, this guy won't even come back and acknowledge the fans that put him where he is today in Hollywood. There's a lot of resentment. But then you need to look at it from the Rock side, where in Hollywood they really, really look down on pro wrestling. Okay, so if he were to come back, even to make a one-time appearance, to be in the headlines, The Rock makes return to pro wrestling. He either has to do one or the other, because Hollywood, they do not like wrestling. They do not like pro wrestling, so you either have to be, and I think that's part of the reason Austin doesn't want to do a match at Mania, is because he's going into this Hollywood thing. These guys, when they leave, they go into Hollywood, and Hollywood frowns upon pro. I can't tell you how much they hate pro wrestling.
It's not even so much of that, honestly. Is they get stereotyped. The only roles that they'll be able to play are wrestling theme roles, or bodyguards, or enemies that are C-budget films. But just to add more to that, I spoke to an executive actually from the WWE a while ago, and it's not so much that The Rock does not want to come back. It's not so much that he wants to show his appreciation to the fans. It's just the reality is he has an extremely busy schedule, and his busy schedule normally happens in the first 3 or 4 months of the year.
But Rock has come out in media interviews and said that he wouldn't return to wrestling.
Right. But the translation to that is not saying that he doesn't care about his fans, because I personally don't take it that way. I just take it as that the man is extremely busy, and there's still that anger. I mean, there's still that anger with Vince of not renewing or even discussing about his termination of his contract. It just died, and that's it. And then the WWE was blaming interns and internal people on the situation, rather than being up front and center saying, yeah, you know what, you used us to become a celebrity, but I mean, would you rather get paid $4 to $10 million a film, or get paid $1.2 million base salary, and then hopefully your merchandise succeeds, and then on top of that, injuries occur at the same time, and if you're injured, you're not making money because you're not producing, you're not selling merchandising. So,
well, look at Mickey Rourke at WrestleMania. I mean, that's a classic example. I mean, Hollywood hates pro wrestling. I mean,
it's not so much that they hate pro wrestling. It's just they get stereotyped. I don't think it's like, in Mickey's defense, or Mickey's defense, is he's going up for a prestigious award. Obviously, he didn't get it, but that's just how Hollywood is. They don't want to be looked at as stereotyped as just a wrestler. I mean, that's just how people are. It's just they get stereotyped.
They get stereotyped as a pro wrestler, but when you say that, I mean, that's Hollywood saying, oh, you're a pro wrestler. So that's Hollywood basically saying, we don't like pro wrestling, and that's that's what I'm trying. If they're stereotyped for being a pro wrestler, then if they want to go to Hollywood, that's basically saying you can't be a pro wrestler, or we're not going to take you in Hollywood.
I don't think that's the reason why The Rock is not showing up on a WrestleMania card.
Well,
I just think it's just more of the resentment of what happened in the past with his contract and his schedule. I mean, yeah, granted, he says that he's not going to be wrestling, but he's not saying I'm not coming back to wrestling because I just don't like it anymore. He's gone past it. He's graduated from it. I mean, that's how he's seeing it as.
Okay. But then, if he's graduated from it, the question was, why doesn't he come back? Why doesn't he come back and say to these people, hey, thanks? And you say that it's just because of his busy schedule?
I don't think he's coming.